Interested to know what the 10 red flags of bad company culture are? As any company grows, or when there are changes in workforce and even processes, the culture gradually changes over time, just as society and life does, which can in some cases mean faults in the culture easily manifest over time without realising. And as leaders, knowing how to improve a toxic workplace culture can be really challenging. I'm Gemma, co-founder and CEO of Culture Shift. We exist to create happier, safer, and more supportive environments of work and study for everyone, everywhere. Improving workplace culture can feel like a lonely job, but you're not alone. That's where we come in. We produce videos like this one to support you on your change-making journey. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and click the bell icon to stay updated for when we post new videos. Right, so before we jump into the red flags, we need to talk about what actually is a bad company culture. A bad company culture is adopted when companies continue with habits, attitudes, and behaviours that affect their company negatively. Whether it's bad timekeeping, unhappy employees, or poor management, a bad company culture creates an environment where employees do not feel valued or supported. This can have a strong impact on profitability and productivity. Something to remember about culture: people perceive it differently. What you believe is a good workplace will be different for someone else in your company or even your team. As leaders, we can't expect everyone to feel included in the same way. Culture is not one size fits all. Our head of culture transformation, Vicky Bars, summarises it perfectly here.
When we bring new people in, we create new cultures, and you can't just expect to bring diverse people in and then be like, oh yeah, okay, so be okay with this dominant culture and experience a sense of belonging in something that you already may not have. It's so important that we are, I think what you said there, hearing, not just listening, but like hearing their experiences. It's a different level, isn't it, to fully really understand and retain and take in and take action on someone's lived experience.
So, how do you know if your company culture is bad? You'll start to experience various problems like low productivity, absenteeism, and poor employee retention, along with a whole host of other problems. Luckily, there are several warning signs and things you can do to combat them. So, here are 10 warning signs of bad company culture and how to improve them. Let's dive in. Number 1. The core company values are not clearly defined. Why do company values matter to good culture? The problem with not having a defined list of core values is your culture will likely progress without a sense of direction. Core values are the driving force behind an organisation, and without them, subcultures can form and undermine the organisation's success. Glassdoor reported that 69% of people would not apply to a company unless its values aligned with their own personal values. So this isn't something that you should ignore. The good news is this is easy to fix. The best way to develop these collaboratively with your team, asking them what words or values they think summarises your place of work. If these are positive, then that's great and they can become your core values. If anything negative comes out, then this is your chance to improve. Doing this will help create positive attitudes and create a feeling of togetherness within the company. When hiring, you should refer back to your core values to ensure the candidate is a good culture add. Number 2, your managers aren't following the core values. Whatever industry you work in, employees look to their managers for direction. If senior team members aren't setting the example by embodying the core values, other employees will do the same. If this continues, employees tend to distrust leadership for exempting managers from the rules. This will then create a divide between leadership and the rest of the team. The fix is simple. Lead by example and hold everyone accountable. Refer to your core values and ensure every person upholds them in your organisation. By making sure all employees are living up to the same set of standards, you'll create an open culture upheld by equality. Number 3, there's a lot of gossiping around the office. Unfortunately, gossiping doesn't get left behind at school. In the office, gossip leads to cliques that can divide the workforce, turn employees against each other, and creates a distrusting culture. It's best to address the situation head on to rid your office of this kind of culture. First, you'll need to identify the individuals who are most frequently involved in gossiping and speak to them separately from the rest of the team. Next, address the entire company so that all employees know gossiping isn't tolerated in the workforce. Number 4, you're experiencing a high employee turnover rate. High employee turnover rate is nearly always a sign of bad company culture. So, if you're finding employees are regularly leaving, they're probably looking for a better company culture. To fix a bad company culture, you need to get to the root of the problem. Hold exit interviews with employees to understand their reasons for leaving. Take the time to understand what it is about your company culture that has made them unhappy, as well as which parts of the culture they like. Want to know the best way to prevent high turnover of staff? Talk to your current employees to find out why they're staying. Try surveying the whole company to get ideas on what you need to improve and how you can improve it. Then show them your action plan with the small and big steps you're taking to demonstrate you're listening to what they're saying and taking it on board. This proves you value their wants, needs, and their honest feedback. Actions speak louder than words. It's best to get ahead of these issues rather than waiting until after people leave if you can. Number 5, you see unhealthy competition between employees. Competition is good for business. It motivates employees, encourages better performance, and helps the company grow. But when competition is a core focal point of your culture, employees can become unfriendly with one another. Sometimes this happens because there is too much value on performance. There's no shame in wanting your employees to become top performers, but you also need your team to get along. To avoid this, try recognizing performance outside the confines of monetary awards. Instead, reward employees for their effort and take notice of their achievements with prizes. These prizes could be a gift card or a voucher for a restaurant, for example. Alongside this, create a space for team members to congratulate one another, as this will encourage employees to have a team-oriented mindset. Number 6, employees are late or absent from work. Your employee's lateness could be telling you that they're disengaged with your organisation. If an employee is frequently absent, they're possibly disinterested or not passionate about the work they do. These two things could also be a symptom of something tough going on in your team member's personal life. But whatever the cause, you need to get to the bottom of it so you can offer support. To tackle this, line managers first need to determine if there's a schedule conflict. The employee might have to drop their kids off at school, or the public transport they're using is unreliable. With this information, you could then adjust their starting time. If it's not a schedule issue and there's a deeper concern that you need to get to the bottom of. Through working closely with your HR department, track sick days, doctor appointments, and other approved absences. Be open to discussing personal matters and any other reasons why employees may need time off for work. With these approaches, you can help improve your absenteeism rate and create the work culture that encourages communication. Number 7, your employees rarely take lunch breaks. You may think this is unnecessary. However, if you see employees regularly missing lunch breaks, it's either because they don't think their management condones taking breaks, or they don't feel that they have enough time to stop working. This is poor for business, and it will reduce employee retention. To be a good employer, you need to show you value your people as people, not just a workforce. Plus, it's difficult for employees to maintain quality and productivity if they have to work for 8 hours non-stop. Fortunately, this is also an easy fix. As a manager, make sure you take lunch yourself and take time to remind employees to have a break. You could also occasionally provide food for the office to impose a lunch break while taking this time to get to know your team better and enable employees to socialise with each other. Make sure new employees are aware of when breaks are and how long they're allocated for. Here at Culture Shift, I always really love trying to connect with employees that I don't necessarily see on a day-to-day basis. So I always make a big effort when I'm in the office definitely take a lunch break and take note of the people who are going on lunch at the same time, because it really gives me an opportunity to have a chat and get to know people during their breaks, and it's a really nice experience for all of us. And I really think that it's really important that adds to that company culture. Number 8, employees aren't adequately rewarded. If you're only rewarding your top performers, the majority of your workforce will feel undervalued. It can also create a negative culture based on competition, which will create animosity among employees. A study by Oak Engage found that 69% of employees have said that if they felt appreciated, they would work harder. By implementing more feedback sessions between managers and their teams, you can provide constructive feedback while also acknowledging the team members' great work. Giving more opportunities for positive reinforcement will motivate individuals and help employees form better relationships with their colleagues. So a culture shift as a way of avoiding that kind of unhealthy competition, we want to celebrate people for living our organisational values rather than for hitting targets. So if we hit company targets, then we have a group celebration where we all go out together, because as a group we know that we've all worked hard to achieve that together. Whereas we want to celebrate individuals for demonstrating the living of our company organisational values. And we feel that that is a better way of celebrating and rewarding people that doesn't kind of promote that kind of unhealthy culture or competition. Number 9, employees are regularly staying behind late and working weekends. If you find the majority of your team is staying behind well after the workday ends, it's a great cause for concern. This may mean that your employees are struggling with too many responsibilities, or management has unrealistic expectations set for them. Employees should have goals that they can aim for, but they shouldn't be impractical, as this can lead to burnout. To avoid this, talk to managers about reassessing workloads. Make sure all employees have enough responsibilities that they feel challenged, but not so many that it'll lead to burnout. You might need to reevaluate your entire team's demands, as if the whole team is struggling to leave work on time, you might have to hire a new team member to share that workload. Number 10, your company has bad reviews. Review platforms such as Glassdoor enable potential candidates to have more visibility into a company's culture. Suppose your team is frustrated with the company culture, the management style, or the emphasis on competition between colleagues. They can take to voicing these frustrations in reviews, and job seekers will be discouraged. Although you can't control the public's perception of your company, you can influence what's written in reviews. You can do this by creating an exciting, happy, and supportive work culture for your employees. One that values every team member, encourages development and team building. So there we have it, our 10 warning signs of bad company culture and how to improve them. What are your thoughts? Do you have anything that you would add to this list? Let me know in the comment section below. I hope you found this video insightful. For more advice on improving your workplace culture and more, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel, and check out our other videos. See you next time.